Hey, welcome to Trials by Melissa. I'm Melissa, and what I wanted to talk to everybody about today is about some of the things that I've tried in the past, what I learned, what worked for me, what didn't work for me, things I could do better in the future, because having those lessons learned is what's going to help me make a more successful year out of 2012 and achieving my overall health goal. Some of the things that I've tried is I've tried P90X. I did it for 30 days and not the full 90, but it was a very rigid workout routine, extremely demanding, and not at all enjoyable on my part. I was, proud of myself for being able to do it and to stick with it for 30 days, but I really did not find any sort of enjoyment out of the activity that I was doing. So it really makes it hard to make something part of your lifestyle that you don't enjoy and that honestly you dread doing every single day. So what I learned is that, whatever I'm going to do, I have to enjoy it, and that whatever it is, it can't be as rigid as one of those types of programs. So we'll just have to see what presents itself as the year progresses. In addition to that, I've tried the low glycemic index diet, and that worked. It was very easy to follow. It was not complicated by any means. But at that point in my life, I was having to fix myself a meal and then a meal for someone that really wanted like carbs and bread and things like that, things that you can't have on a low glycemic index diet. And because of that, I was fixing two completely separate meals every day. And after working all day and coming home, I didn't want to fix two meals and clean two sets of dishes, and it was exhausting. So I'm sad to say that I only stayed with that for about 45 days. But that it does work, and that if it's something that you can accommodate in your life, if I could probably go through and do it a little bit better now, but I don't think that it's something that I want to try again immediately, perhaps more in a maintenance type of program. But in addition to that, I have tried Weight Watchers, which it definitely works. It's not super complicated, but it's a little bit tedious. The having to log everything, having to count your points, having to have your cell phone on you to find out, how many points is this, and then they changed their point system, and it was great. You could have all the fruits and vegetables that you wanted, but at the same time, they decreased the number of points you get a day, and they increased the number of points per item. So, it's not that it's impossible to follow, but it's just a little bit tedious, and I want something to where I don't have to have a device with me, that I don't have to look something up to find out whether or not I can have it, and calculate how many points I've used and how many I have left, and whether or not what I really want can fit into that schedule. At least not at this point in my life. At the end of 2011, so from September to November, I actually did a juice fast, and it was inspired by Joe Cross's Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead documentary. I watched it and I was just blown away by the results. One of my friends turned me onto it, and it was just like, wow, it made sense. It clicked. Your body needs fuel, and the easier you make the fuel to get, the better your body will run, the less effort it'll take to get the fuel, the better you'll feel, the more vitamins you get, the more nutrients you get, that kind of thing. And I did it for the full 60 days. And what a juice fast is all you do is you drink freshly made vegetable and fruit juices for 60 days. So every single meal was a juice, and you could have snack juices in between, and you weren't limited by the juices that you could have. And I actually really love vegetables and fruits, so it wasn't a problem for me to, add those to my diet in that way. And the fact that honestly that it just completely removed the having to select the right menu item and having to, count points or calories, it made it so much easier on me. Now, not everybody can do this, not everybody should do it, and not everybody wants to do it, but it's something that it really worked for me. I saw excellent results, but at the end of my 60 days, I was actually going on a trip for 2 weeks, and I thought, it'll be no problem, I'll juice it. But whenever you go on trips, you don't want to worry about taking a juicer with you and substituting, a couple of meals a day for juice, and making sure that you, still kind of avoid those high glycemic index, heavy protein, heavy bread type of meals. And honestly, I just started sliding, and once I did, I still juice occasionally, but not as much as I want to. So what I learned from that was that whenever you finish whatever trial I'm going to do, that you absolutely have to have a maintenance plan, and it has to be sewed up, and you can't just trust yourself to wing it or to be like, hey, it's not going to be a problem. That whatever form you put around making the first trial successful, you kind of have to have a form like that to follow you into the maintenance program for it. So, I think that what I've learned about myself is that, I have to find enjoyment in whatever I do. It has to be easy enough that I'm not bogged down with numbers and calculations and this and that, and, that it has to fit into my lifestyle pretty easily, that it can't be overly taxing every single day, and that it has to be something that I enjoy having and eating, and that it has to incorporate some of the things that I love. But what I did notice though is that whenever I allowed myself to have variety, like with glycemic index or like with Weight Watchers, is that what I did was I would start, using my points or trying to gear it to get the maximum, to try and cheat the system to get the most that I could out of it. Whereas with the juice fast, there is no cheating. You can have vegetable juice or you can have fruit juice. And the worst thing that you can do is purchase like Arden's Garden juice or maybe the occasional Tropicana with no sugar added. But it wasn't like you could go out there and be like, I can have this cupcake and eat lettuce for the rest of the day kind of thing. So it really worked for me that the limiting my options, at least initially, worked for me. But that I'm going to have an approach to carry on the good lessons, but incorporate it back into a normal, healthy diet. So what I think I've decided to do is that for the first trial by Melissa is I'm going to do a juice fast again, but this time I'm going to do it for 30 days. So for 30 days, I'm just going to have fruits and vegetable juices, and I actually need to start my 30 days tomorrow, because what that does is it has me ending right before my birthday, which is ideal so that I can enjoy some of my birthday food, going out with friends for dinner, that kind of thing, visiting my family. And it'll really just make it easier for me to, have that goal in sight. And it being 30 days will be enough to kind of cleanse my body and get my body used to having that great food in it again. Because I have to tell you, the reason why I selected doing another juice fast is I absolutely missed the way that I felt while I was doing it. I felt more energized and happier and healthier, and just I was thinking faster and enjoying, the results, and the results were pretty instantaneous. But, all I can say is I hope that you guys will, go with me on this trial, and I will blog every day about it for 30 days to kind of walk you guys through the process, tell you what I experienced, tell you what I like and what I don't like, and maybe if someone's considering this and they've gotten their doctor's approval, I'll give you maybe some tips, hints, recipes to help you be a little bit more successful and make it a little bit smoother of a transition. This is Trials by Melissa, and I'm Melissa, and I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.